G'day, this is Joe Cross from the movie Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead and from rebootwithjoe.com. I'm on Extreme Health Radio with Justin and Kate, and we are juicing up the world.
Welcome to Extreme Health Radio. Extreme Health Radio.
Where natural solutions to almost every health condition are out there. Join us on our journey to find them.
Now here are your hosts,
Broadcasting from sunny Southern California around the world.
Justin and Kate Stellman.
And I have to say, our little Australian friend, whoever that was that did our intro, is absolutely correct today, isn't he?
He is correct today.
Couldn't
have been more fitting.
Oh my gosh, it's an amazing day here in Southern California.
Gorgeous.
Oh, geez. We are truly blessed. So I want to thank all of you guys for joining us. My name is Justin, and this is my wife,
Kate. Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening.
And we're broadcasting worldwide, and last I checked, we were in 125 countries. We added 5 more.
We did.
I don't know what they were, but we added 5 more countries.
Doesn't matter. We'll take them.
So I want to thank you guys for being here, and we do shows 4 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And if you'd like to join what we're doing, join the community, you can do so. If you want to go to extremehealthradio.com/Facebook and click the like button on there, and you can join our community, stay up to date with our shows, all that good stuff. And for reference, if you're wondering, it is Thursday, August 29th, 2013. Amazing.
Full swing.
It's actually been an entire year since we started the show.
It has. A year and a couple days.
We just figured that out yesterday.
Yes, I know.
We forgot about it.
We missed the anniversary.
This is episode number 145, so you can go
146.
to... 146.
Yes, sir.
My mistake. You can go to extremehealthradio.com/146 and get the show notes, any websites or reference materials that Mr. Drew Canole talks about that will be on that page. And there's a few different ways to be on the program. We'd love to have you join. You can email me, justin@extremehealthradio.com.
Or Kate, Kate, @extremehealthradio.com.
Or another great feature that we have on our website is you can go to extremehealthradio.com/voicemail and record a voicemail straight from your computer, and we'll play it to a guest or to us. So another great way to be on the show. And if you guys would like to support our work, all of our shows are free. We work for free. Everything is completely at no cost for you guys. But one of the ways that we receive support is through Amazon.com. So if you'd like to go to Amazon this holiday season or anytime and make your purchases through extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, we'll get a little commission that will help pay the bills. So that would be a wonderful way to support us. And just looking at our upcoming show schedule, Kate.
Yes.
Kate.
Sir. Scaring me. Don't talk to me like
we
that.
have Daniel Vitalis for part 3 of his Earth series, Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. He'll be talking about air.
Air, yes. Cannot wait.
Very fascinated by Mr. Vitalis. So.
Yeah, me too.
And then we have Billy Blanks Jr.
That's right.
That should be a pretty fun show.
Who would have thought?
I remember Billy Blanks from the 90s.
I know, right?
Yeah. And we have Dr. Bradley Nelson, author of The Emotion Code from healerslibrary.com. And he's going to be talking about how emotions and energy play a role in our healing and our health. So that should be a good show.
Yeah.
And today, I'm really excited about Mr. Drew Canole. I don't know if you have not heard of him, but if you have not, maybe you're living under a rock.
I was going to say, he's everywhere.
He is everywhere, and he's doing such an amazing thing. And his website is FitLife.tv, and he is the founder and CIO. He calls himself Chief Inspirational Officer.
Oh, nice.
I like that. And he's got lots of different videos he does on there. It's more like a TV show kind of website. And if you don't follow him on Facebook, please do. He's just always posting inspirational stuff. So thanks a lot, Drew, for joining us from San Diego today.
Absolutely, guys. It's a pleasure to be on the show, and I'm looking forward to see what we can get done here the next hour.
Yeah, so how's the weather down in San Diego today?
Oh, it's always perfect, right? And even if it rains, it's an opportunity to just bask in the rain as well. So everything is good in San Diego. And are you guys, you're in Southern California as well, right?
Yeah, we're just north of you in Orange County. So we're in South Orange County.
Okay. Yeah, so relatively close.
Beautiful, beautiful day. So with FitLife TV, how did you start? I always wonder, I know your work, and been familiar with what you do, but you were originally from Michigan, is that right?
Yeah, I was originally from Michigan, so I graduated from school up there in Michigan, and I was, I graduated and immediately went and worked for a company like a lot of young people do, thinking that corporate America was my mission and I could go up the ranks. And, if I put in enough hours, then I could actually get to a level one day, and maybe someday would come where I could retire and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I was there for about 3 months of working 12 to 14 hours a day, doing very well, right?
Yeah.
At the time, my ego was going through the roof as well, because it's like making a lot of money and you're doing these things, but it wasn't fulfilling. Mm-hmm. So I started my own company thinking that would be more fulfilling. And we did that for 2 years. I moved down to a little place called Tampa, Florida. There, running a credit and finance company, thinking that would bring me joy. And we did really, really well from a fiscal sense. And, obviously from a demonstration standpoint, on the outside, it looked like I was doing awesome. But on the inside, I didn't feel complete. I didn't feel whole. I felt like I could do more for this planet, for this world. I could take a stand and, help people. So I broke away from the group, the tribe that I was in that had similar mindsets to me over in Florida at the time. And I moved all the way out to San Diego on my own.
Oh, wow.
I took 6 months off. I sold those businesses, and I'm like, well, if I could do anything in the world, what would I do? And I had a flashback. I remember meeting with my best friend. He's 82 years old, Frank Scheidler, sitting over breakfast, talking about spiritual stuff, talking about, what we really want to do in this world, things like that. And he said, Drew, if you could do anything at all, make sure you do something that impacts people's lives. Everything else will happen. Everything will just come. And it was something so simple as that, and I probably heard that 100 times with the success CDs that I was listening to, Dale Carnegie, all these other things. But you know how that one person or a friend or a teacher says that one thing to you that absolutely changes your life?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, that was that one moment. He told me that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do health. I'm going to help people get healthy. And at the time, I was 20 pounds overweight. I was out of shape. I was lazy. I was lethargic. I had no focus. I had no mental drive. I was just kind of meandering through life at this point, right? So I took 6 months off, had my own personal transformation. And the biggest thing that helped me transform, obviously, number one was mindset. We do Mindset Mondays at FitLife, which is one of the reasons. And number two was the whole super nutrient uploads, which is juicing,
Okay.
So about 3 years ago, I started juicing, and I lost 20 pounds of body fat just by having like one green drink a day. And I would do an occasional 5-day detox, which we call the Alpha Reset. Uh-huh. And we've had literally thousands of people all over the world do this thing, and it's transformed their lives. But it transformed me from the inside out. Not only did it transform me on the physical level, I went from like 20% body fat down to sub 7%, got in the best shape of my life. But it also allowed me and afforded me that opportunity to really think through who I was and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to basically give to the world. And then we launched the platform FitLife TV, FitLife.tv around the same time. And because of the passion that was leading this thing, I believe that if you're passionate and you're constantly pursuing what your heart's desire is, then everything else will happen as well. And that's exactly what happened. And literally, we started a fan page about a year ago, juicing vegetables, and literally we almost have 1 million people on this fan page, and they're all just pumped up about life and motivated and inspired to really go out and do what their heart's calling is as well. So it's just an amazing opportunity that we're in.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah. It's interesting. I've seen some of your videos when you worked for the company you're talking about, the financial company, and it was just interesting because I see the videos you do now. And there's a couple videos I found, when you were doing that. And obviously you were into it because it was really your passion at the time. But comparing the two, it's just so amazing to see how much more into it now that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. The difference is amazing.
Yeah, and it all starts with your identity, and that's a process that we use at FitLife to really understand what your why is. It's combining your why and your identity. So we call it a why that makes you cry. And this is the very first step of the transformation process, and something that you should ask yourself every single day is, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's it mean? And you can do a short term too. So in a transformation process, it normally lasts about 90 days, and we have coaching for this. But you would ask yourself, why do I want to transform? What does it look like in 90 days? What does it feel like? What are my friends saying? And then you put yourself in that imaginative state where 90 days from now you're at a dinner party and your friends are walking up to you and they're saying, oh my God, you look absolutely amazing. What have you been doing? Tell me what the secret is.
Yeah.
When you can plug that into your mind, then naturally the universe, God, what have you, whatever you want to call it, will start to deliver those things back to you in a very short period of time. But it's working with the law of expectancy as well, and allowing that to come to fruition. So yeah, the identity process is powerful.
That's amazing. So as a little kid, were your parents into health at all, or was this something that you kind of came to all on your own?
I believe we all come to the planet for a distinct reason. And at a very young age, I started getting signals, showing me what I'm here to do. I don't really get that much into astrology or anything like that, but I'm an Aquarius. And I've had things and opportunities show up to me that have needed healing, like radical healings throughout my whole entire life. So at the age of 7, I remember this very vividly. I was in the library with my parents and we were looking for books. Most kids at 7 are probably reading Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat, like all these other things. And I picked up a book called Healing with the Mind. And it was like very fascinating to me at this really young age.
Wow.
So I just kind of, I listen. I'm really good at listening to the universe and what it reflects back. Every day I'm looking for different clues to follow. And thankfully, I've followed my heart's intuition, and it's just kind of led me down this joyous path.
Wow, that's amazing. And you also have a few books that you've written in the past year or so, juicing recipes your kids will love, and a few other ones. Talk about those.
Yeah, those are, we wrote those books just to give people access to the, transformative juice recipes and the things that we have at FitLife TV. And, a lot of people are confused with juicing in general. They go in the kitchen and they start throwing in a bunch of fruit and different, goitrogenic things, and they're dealing with thyroid issues and all these other things. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we really work hard at giving them the most accurate information possible for their unique type.
Right.
Everybody has a different body type. Just as you and I look different, Justin, on the outside, our insides are completely different as well.
Right.
So
that's fascinating. So what are some things that you do like on a daily basis? Is it completely different than what you used to do years ago before you were into health?
It's not completely different. It's actually, as far as a health perspective, I've added some things to it. I've always had a morning ritual.
Okay.
I think it's very important to start your day with habits that small things, escalated over time, can create massive results. So I've always been a person that wakes up real early. I go to bed early too. My bedtime's probably 9:30.
Oh, wow.
I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I immediately get grateful, for everything. I just start thinking through it. I start writing it down. From that particular point, sometimes I'll do what's called segment intending, where I basically visualize the day out in my intentions. If I have an important radio show like I'm on right now, I will visualize myself even before it happens and set an intention for that particular radio show. So I take some time to do that. It's like active meditation, basically, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds a lot like
observation standpoint.
Yeah.
So doing that, and then having a nutritious green drink, a little bit of breakfast, going to the gym and moving is a big part of my morning ritual. And then giving back. I like to try to at least send 2, sometimes 3 notes of appreciation to family members, to different people in my life, to employees, to people that I work with on a daily basis, that kind of thing. So, and then I start the day, and I don't do anything that I don't really, really want to do. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
You start setting your life up. And if I could go back into time 10 years ago and tell my, younger Drew, one of the biggest secrets is do what you love every single day, and everything else will just come together.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel stuck. whatever your job is, whatever you're working through, whatever it may be, you can know that there's this other subconscious, ethereal blanket that covers the whole entire universe. And the great thing is we're all connected to it. And when you really connect to that, that's what brings in all those things that you love and provides you with ample opportunity to demonstrate that on a daily basis, every single minute, every single second of the day.
Yeah.
So I bet you see a lot of people transform not only physically, but these shells of people walking around just become these probably whole people or not whole, but near whole, I'm sure. I'm sure you've just seen some wild stuff happen with people, huh?
Yeah, it's the awakening.
The awakening.
It's exactly what you just said. And that's what really excites me. People are like, Drew, when you get all these transformations coming in and you see somebody's body change, it's like that metamorphosis, like that caterpillar turns into the butterfly. It's amazing. But on the deeper level,
yeah,
you can't even quantify how much greater the feeling is knowing that somebody not only transformed their body, but now they're pursuing their life dream, their life goals. They have a much better relationship with their partner. And they're really, like you said, they're becoming the version of themselves that they came into this experience with, but for some reason they listened to all the limitations and it allowed them to become this shell that you talked about.
Yeah, it's interesting because for myself, I got into health and nutrition in 2003, and I did the whole raw food thing for 7 years, 100%. And so now I'm doing more like a paleo kind of style diet, paleo/raw. And so I'm kind of hybridizing those two philosophies. But for me, it's interesting when I really look back at the transformation. I know, Kate, you and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because the transformation that happens, yes, there's physical transformation, but your mind opens up, your world opens up. Everything changes when you use almost nutrition and food as a conduit to something greater. And I think that's what you're doing, Drew, too, right? With FitLife TV, is getting people to live the kind of lives that they want.
Yeah, exactly. Fit life. What's your fit life look like?
Yeah, it's amazing because a lot of people do focus on the outward, and it's interesting. I see it all the time with trainers and things in the gym, and people are really, really focused on what their body looks like, and that's a good
motivation, but
good doorway.
Right.
But I love what you're doing, Drew, with taking it well beyond that, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the game changer. There's a lot of fitness gurus out there that are giving you amazing programs. They pour their heart, their soul, their desire into it, and they turn out some really incredible products. And I bought most of them, in my quest to get physically fit. And the biggest thing that was lacking was the whole mindset piece. So a lot of the times, somebody will transform and then they'll go back to the way that they once were, or even worse. Because a lot of biochemically, if somebody's storing a lot of fat, so much fat actually in one spot can create like an organ substance and start producing its own hormones. So then you have those issues of hormone deficiencies and everything else. So we like to target the mindset first. That way, no matter what happens, once you get this ideal body in your mind, whatever that may look like to you, you can stay that way for the rest of your life. And I've never heard about somebody transforming with one of our programs or coaching, going back to the way that they once were. And that's true transformation.
Yeah, so that's probably also why you have Mindset Monday, the very first day of the week that people are typically upset about going back to work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sad.
Oh, I love it.
It's my favorite day of the week too. I love Mondays.
That's awesome. And so when you were talking about going to bed early, is that something that you do because of the success tapes and seminars you've attended and done and listened to? Or is that something that's kind of part of who you are? You would always go to bed early and wake up early?
Well, and you guys, you probably do this as well, but I feel like in the morning when you're up before everyone else, it kind of gives you that time to just listen and be still.
Yeah.
So there's no chatter, there's no talking. It's not like I wake up and I immediately start listening to music and have a dance party. It's like sitting in silence and waiting for whatever I need to just come to me. And I think that's something that's lost because there is so much noise nowadays.
Right.
Man, isn't there? It's
Yeah,
so
this
true.
is good stuff. We're with Drew Canole, and his website is FitLife.tv. And I highly suggest you sign up to his newsletter list. I'm involved in that. I just got an email from him today that I'm going to read later about carbohydrates.
Nice.
And what to do if you eat too many carbohydrates. So good stuff. Don't forget to follow him on Facebook as well. Doing lots of great things. So check out fitlife.tv. And speaking of fitness, we're going to do a little ad here for the Bellicon.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back after this break. Rebounding is, in my mind, one of the best ways to detoxify your lymphatic system. And it's the only exercise on earth that will actually detoxify your lymphatic system. And your lymph system is responsible for storing toxins and chemicals and poisons that you're exposed to. And there's no pump for the lymph system. It doesn't have a heart. So you have to move it up and down. And it's filled with millions of one-way valves that get squeezed and pushed and opened and closed every time you jump. And we feel like we've found the best rebounder on the market today. It's the Rolls Royce of rebounding. It's called the Bellicon. And I highly, highly stand behind this product. It's absolutely amazing. If you want to hear what some of our guests said about it, check them out on our store. You can listen to what a lot of our guests have said about rebounding and the Bellicon in particular. So a lot of times people will go on the rebounder with oxygen for cancer if they're really sick. And it's one of the most powerful things you can do to cleanse your body and to exercise every single cell in your body, every organ in your body. It's the only internal organ exercise you can do. And it's absolutely incredible. It also helps to rebuild bone density because of the up and down motion, the G-force that gets applied to every cell of your body, and it tightens and tones your body, and it's just really, really great aerobic exercise. And the Bellicon is made with straps, these bungee cords instead of springs, so it's silent and they have a warranty on it. It's the best rebounder on the market today. So if you're in the market for one, I would highly recommend just saving up and getting the Bellicon, because there's no other rebounder on the market that's better than this thing. I firmly believe that. So if you're interested in it, check it out, extremehealthradio.com/Bellicon. That's B as in boy, ELLICON. And you can learn more about it and watch the videos on that page too. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy your rebounder, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Don't forget to join our thriving community for health tips, inspiration, and show updates at extremehealthradio.com/Facebook.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. I'm out of breath myself. I just got off my rebounder during the break.
You don't waste a minute, do you?
Oh man, I love that thing.
I know, I love it too.
So good. It's probably not very conducive to doing a radio show, but
Nope.
I love to do it.
But you
during
keep
the break.
doing it. You don't learn.
So I just want to let you guys know, everyone, check out that Bellicon if you're interested in the rebounder. Good piece of equipment. Amazing. Rebounding is such a great tool. So check out that Bellicon. As well as the lady said, don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Join our community. Love to have you a part of what we're doing here. And Drew, I wanted to ask you, you're so big on juicing. What are some strategies that you use for juicing? And maybe you can share a little bit about why you like juicing in particular versus blending and things like that.
Absolutely. You know, I love actually juicing on my rebounder.
Really?
How does that look?
You put the juicer on the rebounder?
It's tough. I have a very long straw, so it doesn't look nice. No, but okay, so some tips and strategies. One of the biggest questions that people ask is, what's the difference between blending and juicing? And I think it all comes down to absorption. With juicing, you get a lot higher food value with it. With a smoothie, which I love superfood smoothies, don't get me wrong. I think there's a place in everyone's kitchen for a blender. I think the king of the kitchen is the juicer and the queen of the kitchen is the blender for sure. And the reason is because in about 15 minutes of drinking a juice, you are already getting the nutrients in your body, in your bloodstream. With a blender, it can sometimes take 2 to sometimes 3 hours to break that down. With all the fiber, you're pulling it apart. And because your body's working harder to pull that apart. It's missing a lot of the vital enzymes, nutrients, amino acids, and the different things that are actually really beneficial for your body. So juicing is a little bit more rapid process. Well, that's why we call it like super nutrient uploads. And when people are, let's say, exposed to herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, radioactive material, arsenic, fluoride, chlorine, the different things that are in the water, all of these toxins, we store those in our body fat. Xenoestrogens are out there. So we store them in our body fat. And one of the best ways to flush these out is to actually do a juice fast. So and a lot of people are stagnant with their weight or their fitness goals because all of these toxins are still in their body, holding their body fat hostage on their body. So we do the 5-day detox. It flushes those out. And then even if you're a guy trying to pack on lean muscle, we see results a lot faster. And women, they tone their stomachs, their butts, everything else in their body by doing this. I mean, it's so simple, but yet so rewarding, and the results just speak for themselves with all of these people that we've seen transform over the years. It's pretty incredible, the power of juicing.
Wow. Now, why the 5-day, Drew, versus some people that do the 21-day or longer?
Yeah, I think it's a good entry point. I don't have anything wrong or against somebody doing 30 to 60 days. For myself, I think it's a little extreme. I think people should definitely incorporate a lot of raw food in that as well if they're going to be juicing for 60 days or longer sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
But I think 5 days is something anyone can do. I wouldn't do it right away. I wouldn't jump right into it. I've seen the mistake of a lot of people just doing the alpha reset without preparing their bodies for it. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do to prepare for a juice fast. And by way of, slowing down a lot of the meats and processed food that you're eating before, being good to yourself, eating soups, winding back on that, hydrating, drinking a lot of water. And a lot of our high-end coaching students will actually get a blood test, and we'll look at their nutrient deficiencies and stuff like that so that we can put them on a supplement protocol and really get them firing on all cylinders.
How far in advance for a juice fast should people cut out a lot of meats and heavy things? Are you talking a week, or prepare your body for a month, or what does that look like?
I would say probably 3 to 5 days.
Oh, okay.
So however long you're going to fast for, that's how long I would prepare for. So if you're just going to do a 1 day, maybe the day before, just kind of take it easy. I love 1 days. I like to do a 1 day fast once a week. Where you're just drinking juices and just kind of flushing your system out. If I have a big video day, one of the greatest things I like about juice fasting is the actual creativity that you get from it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, a 24-hour fast, right at the tail end of it, in between, the 18-hour marker, I feel like all my neural synapses pathways in my brain are just opening up and my creativity is flowing from me. So a lot of those videos that we shoot, you actually see them and I'm in a fasted state.
Wow.
So do you do all your videos in 1 day kind of thing, or do you do them, different times and things?
A couple times a month, we'll shoot for the whole month.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah, it takes a lot of energy. Anybody that's ever shot videos will know that it takes a lot of mental creativity because we don't use a teleprompter.
Oh, okay.
We just bullet things out and we just let it flow.
Wow.
Channel.
Well, you are incredibly talented because those videos are so good.
They're great.
If you haven't had a chance to watch any of those, and you're listening to this, go to FitLife.tv and you can watch. What do you do? 4 a week? Is that what you're doing to now, or 5?
We were doing Mindset Monday and Saturday Strategy, and then occasionally we'll do a couple other recipe videos, simple tools and tips people can use in their kitchen, and fitness videos and stuff like that as well.
I was laughing last night. We watched the About You one, and you had the rap thing going. You're singing to your vegetables. You're doing it all.
Yeah, so I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it's great. You shouldn't be.
Good stuff. So do you find that when you put people on the alpha reset and you start doing some juice fasting like that, do people go typically through a really heavy detox that you kind of have to work through for the first couple days, or how does that work?
So it's funny, I always tell them, going back to the mindset thing, whoever decides to go through this, to really set your intention to go through it with energy and, mental sharpness and the different things that maybe you've heard can really be alarming, before you go through it. So setting the correct intention is always appropriate. Sometimes around day 2, I would say people deal with a lot of those detox symptoms. If they've taken a lot of antibiotics in their life, sometimes they'll get that like metal taste in their mouth. So they'll experience that. Headaches is another thing people often get. And, a fix for that is, depending on your metabolic type, is the way that you should be juicing. And this is a whole hour-long segment. I could go into metabolic typing and why we do that at FitLife. But some people they need more fat for fuel. So sometimes I'll mix coconut oil in my juices. I'll put flax seeds, I'll put chia seeds, different things to give me a little more energy. And during a fast, the Alpha Reset, we have different options like that, which will help curb some of those hunger pangs. It'll help eliminate some of those headaches and some of those minor body aches that people get while doing the detox. Also, a supplement that I recommend, and most people in Western civilization are a little deficient in today, is probably magnesium. So a great source of magnesium would be good. And then, so it's all about the protocol, following it. And once you make it through, you feel like you really accomplished something in your life that was hard. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like taking a shake twice a day with food and then in 90 days, or whatever. There's a lot of programs out there like that.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a lot more difficult, but it's also a lot more rewarding. And what happens is you build up motivation once you're done with the 5-day cleanse, and you're like, well, what else can I accomplish in my life that I didn't think I could do, that I did, and now I feel like a victor walking around. And you just it's cool to see, even business-wise, some of the goals that people are able to accomplish after doing the 5-day cleanse. Or, the deeper relationships with their kids and their family and their husband. A lot of women come to me and they're like, I got my husband to juice. He's going to lose weight. He's feeling good. We don't argue as much anymore. Wow. And it's crazy. It's almost like every psychological problem somebody's having is because of a nutrient deficiency.
Wow.
Do you ever hear the kind of thing, because I've done a few short ones myself, but man, sometimes they're very emotional. Do people talk about that a lot? I mean, I always end up feeling great at the end of one, but sometimes I'm like a wreck for the first few days. I feel all these emotions that I haven't felt, and it's like a purging. Do people talk about that?
Yeah, and I've had those too. I mean, we all do.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I crying over my celery?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's pretty cool to witness that, and just to, whether you're a man or a woman, I mean, getting in touch with that side of you, the feminine, and just letting it flow from you during that is a very peaceful, honorable state to be in.
Yeah.
And we need that. Those pent-up emotions, the reason you're doing that is because you need to let it go. And it's fun. It's definitely cool.
Do you yourself take any supplements or anything? Let's say you're doing a 5-day Alpha Reset. Do you take any supplements like magnesium, like you talked about, or liquid supplements or anything?
I take magnesium.
Okay.
I take a high-quality fish oil as well.
Okay.
For the DHA and the EPA. For cognitive health. And then I take, I got a blood test and I was a little B12 deficient, so I take B12 every day.
Oh, okay. Okay, and you could take all these supplements while you're on a juice cleanse?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a good question. Are there anything that you shouldn't be taking on a juice cleanse supplement-wise, or are they all pretty safe, you think?
Well, depending on what you're juicing, Hippocrates said in 400 BC, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. Mm-hmm. And that's so correct. I mean, you have the grapefruit. The grapefruit can actually alter birth control. It can alter cholesterol medication, pharmaceutical medication. And the reason for that is a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are actually using some of the, biochemical, whatever's in a grapefruit to create some of their medication in large doses, so sometimes it can kind of trip it out and alter it. So there's certain vegetables and fruits you want to pay attention to if you're on different types of medication. That's why we say always consult with your doctor before doing any of this stuff, right, so you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, because I think 1 out of every 2 people are on some form of pharmaceutical medication.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
1 out of every 2?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And the average person in America is on like 6.
Wow. That is so
Wow.
crazy.
And you wonder why we need more juice.
Yeah. So with you and your body type, because you talked about that a while back, personally, I'm about 6 feet, 170 or so, and I work out hard and I try to pack on weight. And so if I did a juice fast for 5 days, I would lose a lot of weight. Do you find that happens to you, or do you have a different body type where that doesn't happen, or how does that all work?
I just know that, after my fast is over, I obviously need to eat more. So if I'm doing it 1 day a week and my metabolic rate burns about 3,300 calories a day just on idle.
Oh, wow.
Then I know that I need to up that to about 4,000, 4,500 calories on the days that I'm not actually fasting.
Oh, okay. So when you're not on a fast, on a juice, how many juices do you make per day, or do you do it just a few times a week, or just on an average? How do you do that?
I would say once a day is my goal.
Okay.
Just 1 juice a day in the morning. And that kind of sets you up for success. If I don't have access to a green juice and I'm traveling, then I have found some pretty high quality green supplements with a lot of the good stuff, prebiotics, Jerusalem artichokes, spirulina, oat grass, barley grass, different things like that that'll cultivate those good probiotics in your appendix and in your gut to really help with your immune system. 80% of your body's immune system is actually in your gut. And that's one of the greatest things about juicing is it actually allows you to absorb the nutrients, thus repairing your gut. And that's one of the best things for a fast. Because imagine hiring somebody to dig a trench out in your guys' yards, and you hand them a shovel and they're working pretty much 24 hours a day for 7 days a week. They never have a break. They're sweating, they're tired, they're complaining, they want to go on strike, they don't know what to do. And then you go out to the yard and you hand them a juice and you say, hey, take a break for 3 or 4 hours, or a fast, which would be a day. Take the day off, Mr. Digestion. And then all of a sudden now it has a time to heal what's called leaky gut syndrome, which about 50% of the country has. And when your gut is correct, obviously your immune system boosts. You start breaking down those proteins as aminos, those enzymes, which are pivotal for your body's overall health and wellness. And then you're able to really build on a solid foundation. And that's why juicing works so well too, is the healing of the gut.
Yeah.
I love it. It's interesting. I wrote an article a while back, and it's right on this topic of fasting 1 day a week and the power of that. And so if you were to fast like every Sunday just on liquids, I think I did the math, and over 30 years, that's, thousands of days of fasting that you've given your body that break. And over the course of your life, that's going to be
powerful.
huge thing for to make you healthier. So that's what you do, is like 1 day a week kind of thing?
Yeah, and longevity wise, they say that on a caloric restriction, similar to a fast and giving your body that break, people, they've studied it, live sometimes 30% longer.
Wow.
Really? Just by incorporating a regular fast?
A regular caloric restriction, yeah.
Wow. I love it. Wow, this is good stuff. We are with Drew Canole, and his website is FitLife.tv. Having a good time talking with him. We're going to be right back with Drew right after this break. So this morning when I was making my green smoothie, I was finishing up going through the Healthy Baby Code program by Chris Kresser, because my wife and I, Kate, are planning on having a child. And so we're doing a lot of detoxification and cleansing prior to conception. And this Healthy Baby Code, I was going through the final Q&A course or questionnaire that he had in audio format. And it's really, really good course. If you're looking to get pregnant or want to get pregnant, or if you're struggling with infertility issues, or if you have questions about how to have a home birth or a natural birth, these are all things that Chris Kresser covers in this Healthy Baby Code course. And you can check it out at extremehealthradio.com/babycode, or you could check it out in our store for more information. But it's really, really a great program, and I highly suggest any expecting mother to get this. He really lays it out how important having a healthy pregnancy is. It comes with 5.5 hours of video It comes in audio as well. There's hundreds of pages of resources materials. There's ebooks and bonus files, and then meal plans and cheat sheets. So you can just basically follow along and take the right supplements and eat the right foods and avoid certain foods that he suggests. And it covers everything from autism to vaccinations to childhood diseases, how long to breastfeed, natural birthing principles, and all kinds of good stuff. And I really wish everyone would get a course like this before they get pregnant, because it's really, really cutting edge, and I feel like it's really going to help Kate and I have a healthier baby. So if you're interested in this, you can check it out at extremehealthradio.com/babycode, or you could check it out in our store. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get back to this show.
All free shows, all the time, on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Sign up to our email list and instantly get our free gift to you, along with loads of inspirational content and cutting-edge tips to help change your life at extremehealthradio.com/subscribe.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I was just looking out the window here of the studio, and it's just such a beautiful day. I'm so excited.
Except the way I'm looking, I see white puffy clouds coming in, and I'm a little nervous.
Oh, man.
Oh, two different views, same place.
The same place. Amazing day here in Southern California. I hope you guys are having a good day wherever you are. You could be anywhere on the planet. So thank you for joining us with Drew. And so, Drew, I was going to ask you about your videos. You give away this incredible, like you give away a juicer every single week or something like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things about our community is we're always like looking to give away new, exciting things that we love. And we started doing that even at the very beginning, and the responses are crazy. You know, people that have healed themselves. We had an 84-year-old woman who's been juicing since she was 30, and she healed herself from rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, like all these crazy things by juicing, and her juicer was shot. So, you know, we like to pick people like that, you know, people that are demonstrating, people that are imbibing the FitLife way or whatever you want to call it and making it happen. So we love giving away juicers.
Wow, that's so cool. So you give away a juicer, and what do people have to do? Do they just watch the videos and do whatever it is you let them know to do in the video, or?
Yeah, so they just, they subscribe to our newsletter. Okay. And then on Saturday Strategy, it's called, we send out a video once a week, and that's a video that goes over, you know, how to juice, how to fast, different things that we love, you know, coconut oil, things like that. And at the end of it, we give away a juicer.
Gosh, that is so cool.
That
These
is
things,
too cool.
I mean, you give away the J Cordich, I think, right now?
Yeah, we give away the J Cordich. You know, sometimes we'll give away some Sun Warrior protein, you know, different stuff like that. And it's been awesome.
Gosh, that's so cool, because, I mean, that's a high-end $400 juicer, and that's just so amazing that you're changing people's lives like that. It's so
yeah.
cool.
We have a contest quarterly as well where we give out $10,000 in cash for the best juicing transformation, which is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that is so cool. Wow, that's amazing.
Definitely inspired. So
a while back you talked about like your morning ritual. Do you have an evening ritual that you do too?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And I think I think Tony Robbins said something like this: your rituals almost define who you are, or your habits. Something a lot of people have probably said it in the past, but I remember him saying it. And the aggregation of building up these rituals has been pivotal to like our success over here.
Okay.
And yeah, so my night ritual, unlike a lot of people, is I like to try, and I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm off my computer like around 7:30. Okay. And then I'm reading, I'm listening to music, I'm learning Spanish, so I have a tutor that I meet with to do that. And I love learning, so I'm always studying new things, reading new books. I mean, I try to read a book a week.
Oh my gosh.
Which is pretty cool, because we also give away a book in every Mindset Monday. And whatever book I'm reading and I enjoy, then I'll give away a book to somebody that watches that video and leaves a comment as well. So that's part of the nightly ritual. I love to take an Epsom salt bath at least 3-4 times a week. You know, put a little bentonite clay in there to remove a lot of the heavy metals and toxins in your body as well. And and then I'm a big dreamer. You know, dreaming is one thing that's really important to me. So some people call it astral traveling, you know, lucid dreaming. I've always had lucid dreams where I actually get a lot of information in my dreams, and I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and I'll just write for 30-45 minutes and just pour out what I've learned in that dream, and then I can apply it to my waking life, which is probably just a big dream anyway, and then move forward with that. So
wow.
I like to reserve. I sleep for like 8 or 9 hours a night.
Yeah, you go to bed around 9 or 9:30, you said, and then wake up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that evening ritual is really important too, because you want to get into that state where you can go to sleep easily. You're not really ramped up and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that. I have a computer program called Flux. So if I'm going to be on the computer, I have gunner glasses too, but I don't really wear those that much. It actually changes the lighting on the computer, so you don't feel like you're immersed in that, you know, light that kind of can keep you awake or trick. Adrenal fatigue is something that's huge. I know quite a few people that have it, especially these stressed out entrepreneurs that are working around the clock, and moms that are always, you know, up real early and they don't get enough sleep. So doing things like that, getting some grounding in throughout the day as well will help your adrenals. So just standing outside in the grass for 30 minutes a day, getting some vitamin D, being outside in the sun will actually help you sleep better as well. Occasionally, if I'm traveling, I'll take some liquid melatonin, or I have this other supplement that has deer antler in it and vitamin B6 with some liquid melatonin.
Oh my God.
That seems to just knock me right out.
Really?
So,
wow.
Crazy.
I bet airport security doesn't know what to think about that. What do you have in here, deer antler?
They don't know what
they try it sometimes. You know, we get them all hopped up at the airport.
That's awesome.
I love it. That's great. So what kind of things, like as far as your evolution of success and motivation, you mentioned Dale Carnegie, Tony Robbins, and these types of people. Who are some big influences for you as far as audio learning and listening to people and reading their books? Who are your main influences?
Yeah, as far as like everything for me kind of goes back to the whole mindset thing, and there's been, you know, gurus and mentors throughout time that I like to study, and I love Wayne Dyer's stuff. You know, a lot of the authors at Hay House are amazing. Stuart Wilde, you know, he writes a lot of small books that we like to give away. There's a book called Miracles that I give to everyone that comes in the office. And it just shows you that, you know, the potential to create your reality really is here once you tap into it. Pam Gout has an amazing book out that I just read called E Squared.
Okay.
And it's 9 intention-based experiments that prove that there's like this alternative reality that you can shapeshift with your mind, and that's pretty good. And just books like that. You know, one of my favorite books of all time is Psycho-Cybernetics, and you can apply that to every facet of your life, relationships, you know, your fitness goals. It's written by a guy, I don't know if you guys have read this, but he was a plastic surgeon in the 70s, and he would always come in and have people operate on their noses and their teeth and like everything about them to change who they were physically, like their image. So it's essentially self-image psychology. And when you can get the core essence of all of that stuff, doesn't really matter. What really matters is to be like the authentic you. And when you're in that zone of being authentic, the outside world can't, even their own judgments, it doesn't affect you. If you have like this positive self-image built up, or an emotional intelligence, some people refer to it as that, you just go throughout life. It's much easier, you know, and everything just seems to happen, and you're the cause of it instead of being the victim of everything.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was, were you going to say something?
No, I wasn't.
It was interesting. I was talking with my brother a while back, and we were talking about homeschooling, and he said, I was asking him if he was going to be putting his kids back in school, and he said something really interesting. He was talking about how he didn't want to put them in school yet until they had a personality, because if you don't have a personality, you're almost like a blank canvas, and so all the other kids are going to be determining who you think you are and determining your thoughts about yourself, because they project all their kind of they're making fun of you and all that. And so that's kind of like what you're saying, Drew, in that sense is your mindset and understanding who you are first, so that other people, if they perceive you any other way, it doesn't really matter.
It's one of the most powerful things. And John, I don't have the quote in front of me, but John Lennon said something in regards to that as well. And it's just a very, very powerful way to look at the world. Lennon said, when I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life.
Wow.
I remember reading that.
Yeah, that's great.
That is a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
So powerful.
So powerful.
Go
wow.
John Lennon.
So what do you think, like intention or appreciation? I guess appreciation is a good thing to bring up here. A lot of people are living their life and they're always wanting something different. They're always wanting change, and they're not necessarily appreciative of what they do have. How have you seen that transform people when they can understand the whole appreciation principle?
Totally. I have a mindset coach. His name's Michael Nitti, and he's just this amazing man. And we teach a course, in our mindset programs that, in the 7 Days to Awakening Blueprint. And that essentially is, Michael calls it the trophy room. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you basically visualize yourself on an elevator going up to a room. I'll speed the process up as the exercise. But when you go in the room, you see all these trophies. And imagine going up to the trophies and looking at all your victories throughout your life. So you can see them, even the smallest things. So if today you open up the door for somebody at the grocery store, like that's a trophy. And you walk around this room for 5 or 10 minutes. And as you're walking around, you notice your physiology in your body completely starts to change. So through the visualization, after seeing all these trophies and coming out of the visualization, you really feel confident. A lot of people are counting the negatives. So they're attracting more negatives. So when you can put yourself and your imagination in that state, or in the trophy room, as we can call it, it builds your confidence up. I mean, I do it every time before I go speak on stage. I've spoken in front of thousands of people before, and literally there's no nervousness, there's no trepidation whatsoever. You just feel like you're taking a stand to make the world a better place, because you have all that backstory of everything that you've ever demonstrated that's good, not bad.
Wow. That's good. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of something I read. I think this was in The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm sure you've read that book. But he was talking about whenever you meet someone, give them a gift. And, people obviously think,
did you say a kiss?
No, a gift.
A gift.
And so people will think, oh, wow, I don't have any money to give someone I just meet, or if I meet a friend. But his whole point was to give them a gift. It doesn't have to be anything that they ever see. It could just be praying for them, or it could be like a good thought towards them, or like you said, Drew, opening the door for someone.
Yep. Yeah, that's so powerful. Imagine if everyone did that. But what that requires is everyone to get outside of their own head and start living in this universal oneness. And that's where we need to go. And I believe within the next 10 years, it's my dream and my goal to actually be in that state where we're walking around and everybody's our tagline at FitLife TV is we're in this together. Mm-hmm. And that's what that means is, doing those small things for other people and getting outside of your own head and living for this universal consciousness.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, and kind of reminds me of, I was just thinking about Dr. Bruce Lipton and his whole work with the subconscious mind, and how that all ties into the kinds of lives that we're all living. And I've heard you, Drew, talk about those binaural beats, I think they're called.
The binaurals and the triliminals.
Yeah, what's that all about?
So it's basically a way to put you into alpha state. We do what's called alpha conditioning. So that trance-like state of meditation, Tesla, Edison, all these guys from the past, Einstein, were really good at this, where they would work on something vigorously for hours upon hours. And then they'd get to a point to where like, all right, I don't have the answer. I'm struggling. I don't know where the answer is. And then they go in what's called the alpha state, which is this state of connecting to their higher self, or letting their subconscious mind basically put together whatever it is that they're working on. They come out of it, and all of a sudden they've developed these amazing ideas, inventions, different things like that that can propel humanity forward. A lot of things were invented because of the alpha state.
Wow. So are these people going into that alpha state through something like meditation, or are they doing other things like maybe during their sleep times, or?
Yeah, during sleep, definitely dreaming helps.
Okay.
But, using triliminals or guided meditations to help you get there at first is cool. Eventually, you'll get to a point after doing it long enough and actually talking about it. Talking about it with your friends or coworkers. Like, we talk about our dreams at FitLife. It's the first thing we do every morning. So people that come work for FitLife and us that have never dreamed in their life, like, May was telling me about this, will actually start to have dreams and recall them. And it's a big part of our community.
Wow.
In getting to the bottom of what we're here to create, which is pretty cool.
Have you done any work with like meditation yourself? Do you meditate, or do you do any of that tapping thing that's going around?
I haven't really got into the whole tapping thing. I do Qigong. So Qigong, you do a lot of kidney tapping and stuff like that to like open up your body and get the chi flowing, energetically. I do meditate. I try to for at least 5-10 minutes a day, really short bouts. And that is, if I'm writing something and I don't have an answer, sometimes I'll take 5 minutes out and I'll just listen to some triliminals or binaurals and just put myself in that zone, and then all of a sudden the answer will come back.
Wow. Have you ever had a hard time with, how people will say that they can tell the bank account of someone within 5 or 30 seconds of speaking with them? They can just tell by the language that they use. Have you had to do a lot of transformation in your own life with NLP and changing how you think about things or how you word things and the language that you use?
Like based around money?
Well, I guess basically anything, because a lot of people use self-deprecating language and that kind of thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah, like that's a huge no-no. Like we are in a zone of, especially at the office here in San Diego, where everyone's goal is to hear somebody say something that is self-degrading or detrimental or not building themselves up, and reframing it for them. So like calling them out and saying, hey, in a very loving way, but really recognizing that whoever said it is this infinite being that has this, for a very brief second in time, this human weakness where they don't recognize that they have this power inside of them. And it's cool to see just the transformation that happens on a mental level when you're in a community like that.
God, that's amazing.
Drew, you have some amazing stuff going on over there. I'm pretty impressed. And the ladies love you, I have to say.
The ladies, yeah.
I've been following you on Facebook for, I guess, 6-8 months. But
yeah.
Man, you're just doing some incredible stuff, though. I mean, just all the community and the comments, and just people feel really, I don't know, it's just cool to rally a bunch of people around the same, all the stuff we value. It's just so nice to know that you're just following a dream, but you're affecting so many people, even probably more than you could ever imagine. It's just amazing.
Well, we need to, and we need to do it together, because now is the time, and we are really in this together. And, as the governments and the different things that are happening with, the Fukushima thing with the radiation, and there's so much bad news that's out there that, people need a place to go for good news. Yes. And to rally around the positive stuff in life and to change their focus. And I believe that's one of the things that'll change the world.
I love it. So what is your mindset and your, I guess your focus in terms of watching TV? Because, people say all the time, oh, how do you get your news? And Kate and I shut off our TV long ago. We'd never watch it. And I really think that that's so important, because like you just said, with Fukushima and all these things, bad things going on in the world, you fill your body and your mind up with that stuff, and God only knows what could happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, likewise, guys. I mean, I don't watch the news, CNN, constant negative news, like all these other places that are out there that just broadcast this negative stuff. I turned that off long ago. Newspapers, There's not really a lot of good information in there. If I do happen to pick up a newspaper, I'll look at the headlines and I'll set an intention to just basically, send healing energy to the world for that particular matter. If somebody, like, let's say I see something in the news where somebody murdered somebody or just this negative stuff, we have to look. Who is it? Debbie Ford said something where you don't see the murderer as that murderer. You don't individualize it. What you see is that shadow in yourself that potentially could do something like that. So you come from a place of compassion. And that allows you to break free from whatever it is. So maybe there's something inside of me that could be murderous. And if I'm pushed to the level of destruction or whatever somebody's mind has to go through to get there, like, that's a very sad place. So we have to send love and joy and compassion to those shadows in our life. And that's kind of the way I view the news. For a long time, I just tried to stay away from it completely. And that's definitely been beneficial in personal growth. You guys have been doing that as well.
Yeah. You know what I love about the whole thing that you have going on at FitLife TV is that this is a whole entire holistic approach, because some people are listening thinking, I don't like to work out, I don't like to do these things, I don't want to do these things, it's hard, it's difficult, I can't do a fast. And so what we're talking about here is just the whole idea of your intention, the language you use, and the juicing. And it's funny because the more you juice, like in your program, Juice Up Your Life, and you go through this whole transformation, it's just like a wheel, and it's just a snowball, and it gives you the motivation to work out and to turn off the news and change every area of your life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. 1,000,000%.
That's a lot.
I love it. So if people are interested in going through that program, what's the best program that you have? If someone's just listening to this and they just think, I need to change everything. I need to start with the very basics and change everything. What's the program you would recommend for them?
I would say, we give out a lot of really good content on FitLife TV. 2 videos a week, all this stuff. We give it away for free, because this is our goal, this is our mission. We really want to inspire people to transform. And they do. People get massive results just from tuning in to our free stuff. But if they want to take it to the next level and get a systematic plan where everything's just mapped out for them, and we have a membership website where we have, I think, a little over 1,000 people. That you guys, if you think the traction on Juicing Vegetables, the fan page is cool, like how many people comment and stuff.
Yeah.
On our membership page that we have on Facebook for our members, the type of healings people have had, emotionally, like childhood trauma, like I read some of this stuff, and they are so absolutely supportive. It's one of the craziest communities I've ever seen. And that, if you go to juicewithdrew.com, you can actually get all that information there. And the Juice with Drew system, and then obviously the membership, it's amazing. And, one of the biggest things, if somebody's listening to this right now, they may be thinking, yeah, but, it costs money and I don't have money and all this other stuff. Right. Well, wherever your money goes, that's where your heart is. So ultimately, if your heart is around healing yourself so that you can be a bigger impact in the world, then you need to make a decision and figure out what you want to do with that. So that's where they can go. Wow. Love it. I love it.
Stuff.
We love what you're up to. Any plans that you want to share or that you can share about some of your goals for FitLife TV coming up?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is just more people's lives touched. We set out a goal to have 1 million fans 1 year ago on our fan page, and it looks like we're going to be able to do that.
Oh my gosh.
I think like putting more people in leadership roles, because it's not about me. It's not about anybody on the FitLife team. It's about us. It's about being in this together. So one of the goals is to have ambassadors in every city all over the world that understand the language, reframing and looking at life a lot more positive, and just being that conduit for transformation. So we're looking for leaders to step up and just really get involved. We're working on a documentary.
Oh, really?
we have a juicing infomercial coming out. So we actually have our own juicer that we're selling on national TV, which is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. So those are some of the big things. And just loving every single minute of it.
Oh, I love it. Wow. That's so cool.
Wow.
Well, if people want to check out, it is FitLife.tv and juicewithdrew.com. So make sure to check out those websites. And Drew, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for running this incredible program, you guys. I've looked at some of the past shows, and it's amazing what you guys have put together here. And you've only been doing this for a year, so keep rocking and rolling. I'll share this with our community as well.
Thank you, Drew.
More people need to be exposed to the truth. So,
amen, brother.
I love it.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know if you need anything ever, okay?
Yeah, really quick too. We always laugh because I've followed you for a while, but isn't that an Italian like pastry?
It is.
That's just wrong.
It is.
I just always get a kick out of it. And I do have to say, every day we make a juice, and some days we get lazy, and Justin's like, we're in this together. Drew Canole would be proud. Let's go make a juice. And it's really inspiring, though. I have to say, the tagline really is something that we've incorporated into our life, and we're just grateful. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And that means a lot to me. So I appreciate what you two are doing.
Thank you.
So that was a lot of fun to have Mr. Drew Canole on the show.
I know.
I keep wanting to say cannoli.
I know. It's cannoli.
Cannoli.
Like
the pastry.
Fluffy Italian puffy pastry that he is. That the women think he is.
I don't think he'd like to be described as fluffy.
No, that's He wouldn't?
Probably not. He's more ripped.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, he's more rock solid, we like to say.
Rock solid. I know you say cannoli, but maybe he says it that way. I don't know.
I need to say cannoli.
Cannoli.
Drew Canole.
He's great.
Yeah, he is super cool. I love just how motivated he is.
Tell me about it.
You know, he is just so he's just so switched on to life, and so I don't know, it's just awesome.
I know. He just is very inspiring. Makes me want to go have a goal.
And yeah.
You know?
And I think it's so important too to have that motivation, and I really do think it starts with juicing and cleansing and stuff like that.
I do too.
Because so many people aren't motivated, or they're not switched on, or they don't want to put in the hard work to accomplish goals. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that people are so gummed up and they're so clogged up in their colons.
I would agree. You can't think clear, let alone want to dream and plan things and be inspired if you're not thinking with your clean brain, really.
Yeah. When you're all just got heavy metals and toxins and everything else in your body, it's hard to have that willpower and that desire, drive. Yeah. Gosh, what he's been able to accomplish in a year is just
good night.
It's almost frightening.
I agree.
I mean, I could see him doing all kinds of things. Like he said, he's going to have an infomercial out with his own juicer, and
I know
he's doing a documentary.
I know.
Yeah, he is
pretty darn cool. Drew Canole, this is just the beginning of him, I believe.
Yeah,
he's going to be everywhere, and
if he's able to accomplish this in 1 year,
I know.
Imagine where he's going to be in 5 years. He's going to have his own talk show. He's going to be all over.
He'll be sitting next to Oprah on her couch.
Oprah will be invited onto his show.
I was going to say he'll be too cool for Oprah.
He won't have enough time for Oprah.
Yeah, I hope that's the case.
No, I know.
He deserves it. He's a great, very smart, intelligent, hardworking guy, and I just am so grateful we could have him on the show and that he made time to talk to us, really.
I know. It's cool. And, one of the things that I like about him, and we had Sean Croxton on as well as Sean Stevenson, about these kind of guys, is they're kind of upgrades to traditional trainers and fitness people. Because, one of the routes in that they're kind of taking is people's bodies and getting them in shape and things like that. But really Drew's about a lot more, and so is Sean Croxton and Sean Stevenson. And so I would like to see more mainstream people, fitness trainers and things like that are on TV, understand physiology and chemistry and mindset and all these types of things, It's I don't know, it's very superficial, I think, what I see on TV.
Yeah, but I wonder if there's a reason for that, actually.
Yeah.
That could go into a free-for-all Friday discussion, but
That's true.
You wonder why these guys obviously exist, and they're not like they're so hard to find.
Right.
They clearly aren't mainstream for a reason. I think that's because, in general, we're meant to be kept down and not living to our full potential, really.
And really just focused on the physical and on the body. And
that's my personal opinion.
yeah, because I mean, I guess it makes sense if someone is focused primarily on their physical body, and then, you know, if it's a woman, say, and she's able to lose 10 or 15 pounds because of a specific dietary program and fitness program, you know, and then she puts back on that weight because she doesn't have the right mindset, and then she yo-yos, and then it's almost like the doctor scenario where she keeps being dependent on the trainers and all that. And, you know, if Drew is able to change people's mindset, he kind of works himself out of a job because, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
true.
people don't need him anymore, and that's the whole point.
That's so true.
Yeah, so check out his website, FitLife.tv, and if you enjoyed this episode, please do us a huge favor. Follow us on Facebook and share this link with your friends. This is extremehealthradio.com/146. And if you go to that page, you'll eventually find the transcription there and all the show notes, as well as you'll be able to make comments. And so we'd love for you to interact with us, and you know, if you agreed with it or didn't agree with it, just let us know in the comments at the very bottom of that page, and share it with your friends, because we'd love to have our show affect more people, and we rely on you guys to help support us in that way. So something to consider. And I think that's about it, right?
I want to go make a juice.
I know. Green juice time it is. All right, so thanks so much, everybody, for joining us on this episode number 146. And if there's any questions, anything you would like us to help you with, you can always email me, Justin, at extremehealthradio.com.
Or Kate, Kate, at extremehealthradio.com.
And don't forget to check out our shows. We do shows 4 days a week. So
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
That's right. There you go.
You like that?
I love it. So thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog and during this podcast is discussed in the context of numerous conditions, it can be dangerous to take action based on any of the information on this podcast or in this blog, or to start any health program without first consulting a health professional. The content found here is for informational purposes only and is in no way intended as medical advice, as a substitute for medical counseling, or as a treatment or cure for any disease or health condition, and nor should it be construed as such. Always work with a qualified health practitioner or